The buzzards were already circling when the rancher spotted her boots swaying in the wind. At first, he thought it was just another carcass Cthulhu thieves, often left grisly warnings across the desert. But as he rode closer, dust swirling up from beneath his horse's hooves, he saw it, a young woman, bruised, bleeding, and strung upside down from a dead juniper tree, fighting for breath in the blistering heat. And in that instant, he knew two things with absolute clarity: she wasn't meant to be found, and whoever had done this was still out there. The woman's name was Clara Dawson, a schoolteacher who had come west chasing nothing more dangerous than sunlight and opportunity. She'd been in the town of Red Crossing for barely 6 months, but she'd already touched lives reading to the children whose parents worked in the mines, organizing makeshift lessons under the cottonwoods, and dreaming of one day opening the town's first real schoolhouse. But Clara's kindness had brought her into the path of men who thrived on power, not hope. The Black Spurzan outlaw gang, feared from Texas straight up to Montana, had decided Red Crossing belonged to them. And when Clara refused to lie about witnessing one of their crimes, they dragged her into the desert to ensure her silence. "Let the coyotes finish what we started," their leader had sneered as he rode off. Hours passed. Her head throbbed. Blood pooled in her skull. The sun burned her raw. Every breath was a war. She whispered prayers, not even sure if anyone could hear her. That's when the rancher came. His name was Noah Braddock, a quiet man who'd lost his family to the very outlaws now terrorizing the region. He lived miles away on a modest ranch, avoiding trouble whenever he could, but never running from someone who needed help. When he saw Clara hanging there, something inside him snapped like a brittle twig. He cut her down with trembling hands, lowering her gently into the shade. She was conscious but fading, mumbling pieces of words, fragments of terror. He gave her water. He wrapped her wounds. He carried her onto his horse and rode hard for his ranch, knowing that taking her to town would be too dangerous. The Black Spurs had eyes everywhere. For 2 days, she lay feverish, drifting in and out as Noah tended to her. And in that small ranch house, quiet, warm, far removed from violence, they found an unexpected bond. Clara, fighting for her life, and Noah, fighting the memories of everyone he hadn't managed to save. When she finally woke fully, she whispered, "Why did you help me? You could have been killed for it." Noah simply replied, "Because someone had to." But the world doesn't pause for healing. The Black Spurs discovered she was alive. And when Noah returned from gathering supplies in town, he found threats etched into his barn, a message promising death to both him and Clara. Fear trembled through her. She'd barely survived once. To face them again felt impossible. Yet Noah saw something in her eyes. She didn't recognize raw courage. "We can't run," Clara said quietly. "If we run, they'll keep hurting people. They'll keep destroying everything good." Noah nodded. "Then we stand." They rode into Red Crossing at dawn. Not to seek glory, not to start a war, but to speak the truth: Clara's testimony, Noah's support, and the witnesses the townsfolk had long been too afraid to reveal. A crowd gathered. The sheriff hesitated, torn between fear and duty. And for a moment, the whole town held its breath. Then old Mrs. Callahan stepped forward, voice shaking but determined. "These devils have taken enough from us. If this young woman can stand up after what they did to her, then so can we." One by one, others joined her. Stories poured out: robberies, murders, extortion. Clara's bravery lit a fire that spread through every man and woman in Red Crossing. The Black Spurs, realizing the tide had turned, stormed into town to silence them all. But this time they faced a wall of people fed up, united, and unwilling to kneel any longer. Gunfire erupted. Chaos filled the streets. But it ended as quickly as it began. Noah stood firm at Clara's side, and, together with the sheriff and the townsfolk, they brought the gang down. Some surrendered. Others fled. A few never left the dusty ground where they'd made their last stand. By sunset, Red Crossing was free for the first time in years. Weeks passed. Clara healed. Noah smiled again for the first time in a long while. The schoolhouse she'd dreamed of became a reality painted white, filled with laughter and protected fiercely by the town that had nearly lost its lights. One evening, standing under the gold-streaked sky, Clara told Noah, "I thought I died out there, but instead, I found a reason to live." He looked at her gently. Sometimes the worst things lead us to the people we're meant to walk beside. And as the wind carried the scent of sagebrush across the open plains, Clara realized something deeper than any fear, deeper than any pain. She hadn't been saved by chance. She'd been saved because goodness still lived in the world, even in a place as harsh and wild as the West. And that goodness, once found, could change everything.